Okay. Hey guys, we're live. I forgot that loop does not go around long enough, but we are live here with a recap show of the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. So listen, this thing dropped on us, and I'm ready for the holiday season. I know you guys are ready for the holiday season. And Ryan was like, we should recap Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Of course.
Because number one, I've actually seen this, which probably for most of us nerds that love Marvel movies, multiple watches, multiple screenings of these films is like the norm. But I've seen this twice already and I love it. And I'm not someone that does a lot of repeat screenings, truth be told. But this one I didn't mind watching. I saw a screener of it before it was released, and then I had a nice Thanksgiving sort of meet up with some old friends and family members, and I was like, let's fire this up on Disney Plus, and we watched it, and they were so grateful to. They were like, thank you, Jamie, for recommending this. So I'm glad to be able to talk about this. Ryan, thanks for recommending this, and I'm glad to be able to chat with you on this Friday, breaking out the weekend with this.
Yeah, it's definitely something good. Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, 44 minutes, so super short and cool, in the Marvel world. But yeah, it's definitely something you want to check out with your family. Watch the language a little bit around the kiddos because it is Guardians of the Galaxy.
True that.
Right. So, but it's still a good time, still a lot of fun to kind of hang out and check it out with your friends. Loving this new holiday special theme that Marvel has going on. Check out Werewolf by Night. I know we're out of Halloween, but if you get a chance, I thought that was really cool done as well. If you like black and white sort of thing, I thought that was cool as well. But yeah, I love this new groove they're in of giving us holiday specials that they don't usually do. It's a little treat in between while they're working on the big stuff. So I hope they keep it up because I know they got a lot coming down the pipe. So hopefully this is something they're going to keep going. But okay, so
James before Gunn, you start, I forgot. I need to do all of the things, all of the admin things. You know how it goes. Guys, look. So yeah, down below, look at all of our socials. You can follow us on Twitter at Black Girl Nerds. You can follow us on Instagram at Black Girl Nerds. Both of these socials are off and popping. So more people know us for our socials than the website, which I think gives the most content for Black Girl Nerds, but it's all good. So go to the socials, and then our YouTube. Yes, it says Flix Girl. There's a story behind it. I'm not going to explain that right now, but go there, and that is where subscribe to youtube.com/Flix Girl. It will take you to the Black Girl Nerds official YouTube. I promise you. We don't have the check mark yet because, we don't got enough subscribers. So maybe by subscribing, you can help us get there because we got a check mark everywhere else, but we need your love on YouTube. And then Twitch. That is something new for us. Yes, I know we don't have a lot of content on there. We're currently streaming live on Twitch. So we are working some things right now in the background to give you more content on that platform. But in the meantime, why don't you go ahead and just be proactive and follow us on Twitch. So that way when stuff starts going off and popping and jumping, you'll already get the little notification that we got a new video. We're about to go live, all that fun stuff.
Exactly. Yep.
So, all right, Ryan, how about it? Oh yeah, and I'm promoting Twitch right here. There
Twitch,
you go.
There you go.
I am not bought and paid for by Twitch, by the way. I'm just letting you know. I just happened to, go to TwitchCon and I got this shirt.
Jamie, come on.
I wish I was, I wish we could get that sponsorship. But anyway, go on.
But yeah, so yeah, guys, definitely follow us at all because you never know we're gonna pop up on you like this. So make sure you follow and subscribe. You never know what's gonna go down. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, of course, directed by the guy James Gunn because you can't have Guardians of the Galaxy without James Gunn. By the way, he's doing some dope stuff in DC right now, so you guys better take a look at that. That's insane to me, but that's another podcast, another day.
And James Gunn, by the way, I should say, has acknowledged Black Girl Nerds a few times. He
Hey.
retweeted. We did a best and worst list of films of 2022, which, by the way,
Yep.
or excuse me, of 2021,
Right.
which, by the way, look out for our list for 2022 coming out soon. But he retweeted our article because we had mentioned Suicide Squad as one of the best films of 2021. And then Giandra interviewed him for, I think it was for the Suicide Squad. Yeah, I think it was for the Suicide Squad. And she interviewed him and he was like, I know you guys. I follow you guys on Twitter. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
and,
that's nice. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, James Gunn acknowledges our outlet and our publication. Anyway,
yeah,
go on, Ryan.
Yeah. James Gunn, he's that guy. DC is looking out with that. So let's see what he does with that. So that's gonna be cool. But yeah, so got the James Gunn, got your key players here, right? Chris Pratt, if you don't already know, Peter Quill. You got Bradley Cooper, Rocket, Vin Diesel is Groot, David Bautista is Drax, and then you got Karen Gillian, who is Nebula, and Palm, I think it's Clementif. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right. It's Mantis.
Yeah, sure.
I
think that's how you pronounce her last name.
We're pronouncing it wrong because I love her, by the way, in this character. I feel like it couldn't have been cast any differently. So shout out to her. Hopefully we're not getting it wrong. And you got
shout out to Chris from Blurred's Eye View. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up, Chris? And then we got Kraglin, Sean Gunn. So this was a lot of fun having these guys, and then you got your main Guardians of the Galaxy crew hitting the building here. And basically, just to keep it short and sweet here, they wanted to give Quill or Peter, they'll go by Peter in this special. They wanted to give Peter a Christmas he will remember, because Peter is struggling, right? Like he doesn't, Gamora, look, they threw homegirl off a cliff, which all pissed us off. Then they brought her back and she don't remember him. So, he got this messed up romantic love life, right? He looking kind of sad. They're in this place nowhere now that's called Nowhere, that they're building up and everything, trying to get things together. He's just kind of going around just looking like, just painful and like he's just kind of off in a daze. And so, they want to do something to kind of bring him into the Christmas spirit. They think they know what Christmas is, but as Guardians of the Galaxy, this crew, they are like the craziest misfits you ever want to come across. And they always think they got it figured out, which is so much fun for us to watch. But basically, we follow Mantis, we follow Drax, which are the most hilarious characters ever to send on a mission, that have taken on this responsibility.
Those two were perfect in this film.
Yeah, talk about it, JB. What else what did you think about? I guess I should have asked you to begin with. What did you think about the special overall? I know you said you liked it. What was your first impression of finding out these guys were in charge of bringing Christmas to Peter?
I want to acknowledge Donna's comment really quick before I get to that question. And by the way, I apologize if you guys hear construction noises. They're actually fixing our roof in my home, so perfect timing to do a live stream. Donna, so James Gunn, he technically doesn't follow us on Twitter. That's why I wanted to walk that back, because I don't want people to be like, they're lying. But he had acknowledged that he knows of our presence on Twitter. Yes. And you can look at the video. He does say that. But yeah, he doesn't actually follow us. That being said, I actually enjoyed this special so much. I was a little surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And I'm a Guardians fan, don't get me wrong. But the Guardians movies, even though they are comedies, they're obviously in that vein of just being lighthearted, very Marvel-esque, really reeling in deep to what Marvel is known for best, which is getting at the gut of levity and humor and just overall just, belly fulls of laughter type of entertainment. I never really laughed that much at the Guardians films. They don't really have me laughing out loud, but this movie did. I just really loved Mantis and Drax together. They had so much great chemistry. There's some really funny moments, which we'll get to more as we have this recap review. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I kind of like the fact that it was a little short. I think it's about 45 minutes running time.
Right.
It's not a feature.
It's not a feature. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of liked that compact storytelling. I don't know. I just, I think the state of movies today, some of the movies are like super long-winded. When you talk to someone that's just like rambling,
keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, keep it short and sweet. So anyways, I absolutely enjoyed this, and that's why I did a repeat viewing, and I'll probably be watching it again, like while I'm wrapping Christmas gifts or something. Yeah.
This is definitely something you're going to keep on repeat and keep watching because it was so well played. But yeah, so like we say, Mantis and Drax, we figure out also that Mantis' motivation, which I thought this was so cute, and I was so glad they did this at the very beginning. We figured out that one of Mantis' motivations for wanting to bring Christmas to Peter was because she is his sister. So I did not know. I was like, that is such a cute little way to kind of bring it in, kind of tie them in, because she is such a like fun, quirky character anyway. And you kind of feel like Peter has that vibe for anyway. Like you see him kind of grab her and hug her and, telling her, no, don't do that. Take that back, because she gets a little crazy with her mind control abilities from time to time. So they already kind of have that feel. So Jamie, what did you think about that reveal? I thought that was so cute.
That was a great reveal. And when I was with my family watching it for the second time, we were trying to figure out, was there like little breadcrumbs? Did they give little Easter eggs behind them being siblings in the previous films? And feel free, you guys, in the comments, if you guys already knew that or it completely shocked you, because it definitely took me by surprise. But I was just kind of curious, like, is this something that they because you know how Marvel does. Marvel always has a game plan. Did Marvel give us, like, it makes me want to go back and watch the other movies to see if there were little breadcrumbs to show us that there was some ties. And by the way, Ego was out there like that, man. He was out there doing his thing. Having illegitimate children. But anyway, but yeah, I did not see that coming.
He
needed a blurred's eye view. He did not see that.
Coming. Chris was like, I ain't seen it coming. Yeah, I thought that was such a cute shot because I was not expecting it. I thought they were just gonna sit up there like, well, we don't know what Christmas is, so let's go try to figure it out and we'll bring it to him. But she doesn't want him to have, that bad taste in his mouth, about family, and she wants him to love her. And it was just so cute. She was like, listen. So not only are they gonna bring Christmas, but they feel like Christmas for Peter is Kevin Bacon. So this is where you get your whole thing.
Perfect casting.
Yes, perfect casting. By the way, let us know in the comments. I'm gonna pose this question too before we get into just a little bit about their adventure to go find Kevin Bacon. But have you guys ever wanted to see Kevin Bacon in the MCU? What would he play? I couldn't think of anything, but I thought it was so cool that they finally welcomed him into the MCU. Jamie, did you have any thoughts of what you would
he needs to redeem himself after killing and what was it? The X-Men movie? Gosh, which one was it? He killed Darwin. So he needs to redeem himself after killing Darwin. I'm not gonna hold that against Kevin Bacon, the actor. But yeah, I would love to see him in the MCU. I mean, he's definitely been in superhero movies before. So I'd like to see him as an actual hero and not a villain. Yeah. So Blurred's Eye View says in volume 2, Mantis says that there's something she wanted to tell him. I thought it was Ego having his plan for Peter. There you go. There's our breadcrumb.
Nice. All right.
There's our breadcrumb. Like I figured there had to have been a little bit
because it's Marvel, so you already know.
Yeah. There had to have been some sort of little forward, some little, clues that they were kind of dropping before this announcement. Because
I'm going back now. I'm definitely going back to rewatch because it's just fun anyway for me to watch them anyway. So now this gives me another excuse just to do my 50 millionth watch of like the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but going back to Kevin Bacon, I would love to see him playing like a superhero role. But I just loved seeing him being Kevin Bacon, and it was because Kevin Bacon is sort of just this interesting phenomenon anyway. Because I don't know if you remember, but I think it was a book called 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, where
I remember hearing about this. I didn't
everybody has like 7 degrees of people that they know that's linked to Kevin Bacon because he's just been in so many films and he's just been so otherworldly, just his overall career, I guess.
Yeah.
So anyway, having him in this role was just, chef's finger kiss. There you go.
Oh yeah, they nailed that. They only Marvel. They nailed that one. I thought that was a good touch.
Yeah. TBS says Mantis in the original comics isn't what she is in the movie at all. Short story, she was a human turned into a mutant, so not related to Quill at all. Okay, so they went whole creative liberties with this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't know much, and I will be out of all of the Marvel movies, and I said this years ago when the first Guardians came out, I didn't really know anything about the Guardians. They were sort of
Yeah,
like a C
yeah,
level team to me. I didn't think the Guardians were going to do well box office wise because I felt like it was one of those obscure comics that not a whole lot of people read and not a whole lot of
right.
people knew about. So my bet was, Marvel, y'all are really taking a gamble on Guardians. But look, here
Yeah.
I am eating my words. Guardians is one of the most successful franchises because I was
Mhm.
just having a conversation with someone this past weekend about Wonder Man. And he seems to think that Wonder Man isn't going to do well because not a lot of people know about the character and the story of Wonder Man. But I'm like, yeah, but look at Guardians.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
a lot of
Definitely
people
know
knew
about.
about
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Blur's Eye View says Kevin Bacon does need to redeem himself for taking. I'm telling you, he need.
Redeem
Man,
yourself,
I'm
Kevin.
still hurt by Darwin, boy. I'm still hurt by that one. I think Gunn just used the name for his character so he can do what the story needs. Yeah, that's
Mm.
a good observation, indeed.
All right. So let's get into a little bit of why you never send Mantis and Drax to go find Kevin Bacon. So they get on the Bowie. They decided they're gonna go to LA, because where else you gonna find Kevin Bacon, right? You gotta get on a plane. They get on the Bowie, by the way. That's the new Guardians spacecraft. And this is why these two are so hilarious to me. They will argue. There they go, right there. They will argue over the craziest stuff. Like they're sitting at the pilot seat or whatever with the controllers and everything, and you look outside of the spacecraft and you see everybody, like one girl is crying, everybody's just staring up at the spacecraft, right? This big Bowie coming into LA. And Mantis is like, well, why are they staring at us? You put the invisibility shield on, right? And he's like, yeah. And he like Drax sneaks his hand up and turns on the invisibility shield. And she was like, I just saw you do that. And that is like the frame of them like through the entire film. And I love it. They will argue about the dumbest stuff and you're hooked to every minute of it because they're just so funny. You would think they're brother and sister because they give each other such a hard time, just like constantly. But it's just that little stuff. They argue over snacks. It is just the funniest, cutest thing you ever want to witness, which I think makes this whole cast, this whole crew of like, misfits and trying to belong and build your own family so amazing to watch, about Guardians of the Galaxy. But anyway, okay, they plop down into LA. You hit up the not the Star Walk of Fame where you have all the stars and everything
Yeah, the
going down
Hollywood Walk
there.
of Fame.
Okay,
Mhm.
Hollywood Walk of Fame. They hit that up. Of course, you got to get autographs with these guys, right? Because they're walking around looking
And
like
they
straight
blend
superheroes.
in because
Yep,
everybody in
yep.
that section of Hollywood, they cosplay, they dress up in different characters, mostly because they want to get you to take their picture and then they want you to pay
Mhm.
for the picture. But anyways, so they blend in with that element of
Yep.
Hollywood. So it's a perfect location for them to, drop into.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and they get the money for real. Like it's hilarious to see Mantis carrying around all her dollars, and I'm surprised she made it as far as she did without anybody trying to steal or take the money. Now she could mind control them to give it back if it did happen, but I thought it was kind of funny how she's just walking around LA with this money just tucked up against herself as they make their way to a bar. But yeah, I was nervous for her. I was like, girl, gonna get that money stolen. She just walking around like it's just nothing, just night and day. But yeah, so they enter a bar real quick. That's where they're thinking that like they're just gonna ask everybody they can about where's Kevin Bacon. They're just gonna do whatever they can to find it out. They get drunk, and I'm like, oh Lord, you got Manus and Drax drunk, partying, dancing on the dance floor. And they end up laid up, you guys, on the sidewalk. Because what else happens? After you come out of the bar, you take a whole bunch of shots, and just lay out all your money. And I thought it was interesting how they had her use her mind control so freely in certain ways, where it's kind of like you just think about the consequences later. Like she ends up, getting this map, the star map from this lady, taking the lady's, money because she uses mind control over her. So, they don't hurt anybody, but they got some serious powers on them to get around and find Kevin Bacon. So they do eventually happen onto Kevin Bacon's house. And I want to ask Jamie about this because I'm trying to figure out like if somebody pops up on your ring and then they look like Mantis and Drax, do you just immediately go ahead and get in your car and leave? Because I feel like Kevin Bacon had he should have got a moment to kind of, escape and get away here. But he was locked down by these two. Like they started taking over, in the yard, grabbing his elf, grabbing his like Christmas decorations and stuff out of the yard, having a good old time. Jamie, what was your reaction of this scene when they finally get to Kevin Bacon's house and they're like taking the decorations and they kind of confront him about, hey, are you Kevin Bacon? I need you to come with me.
Yeah, it was great. Again, I apologize, guys, for the construction noise. I absolutely love the scene. I thought it was hilarious just seeing Kevin Bacon doing, I don't know if he was doing his own stunts, but for him to be as Kevin Bacon and the way he was like jumping off of the balcony and, and running around and like at his age, got a lot of respect for his agility and his stamina at his age, just being able to whisk around and try to get away from Mantis and Drax in that moment. So yeah, it was really funny. I think that it was a real moment though too, because he's probably, I mean, I don't know if he's used to it, but maybe he might have had a situation where some weird people have tried to come up and meet him. So, it makes sense that he's just like, okay, guys, put my stuff down. You guys can go. Like normally people like us would be like, okay, we're calling the cops. This is weird.
Right, exactly.
But he's a public figure. He's probably used to just random weird people walking up to him all the time, wanting to get his picture, get his autograph. So it makes sense that he didn't right away try to escape, try to call the police, and give these, two kids, I guess for him, the benefit of the doubt and give them a chance to leave rather than just calling the cops on them right away, which speaks to, the humanity and the patience of Kevin Bacon. He's not the type of guy that just calls the cops right away. He's just like, all right, guys, you can put my stuff down. You can walk away. So
yeah, right. Oh, and speaking of calls, I want to mention, I should have started with, I thought it was so cute how they had Kyra Cedric, his wife, on like different phone call moments with him. Because I feel like those two come as like this cute.
Yeah, you actually see a caller ID with her name, Kyra. So that's awesome. Yeah, Kyra Cedric, who we also know. She's been in notable movies and TV shows, The Closer and all that. But yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was such a cute moment to kind of have them in. Like they've been together forever. Like if you talk about spending such time in Hollywood, such a cool couple to kind of do. So I thought that was so cute. They added that in there to give him a little bit of like, you're getting ready to come see your family. He's supposed to be at the house while all this is going down, throughout the night. But yeah, so we have this crazy chase scene that goes along. Kevin does eventually call the police because they get out of control. Like, they start really going in, following him, chasing him down the street. And I like how Mantis is just like no cops were harmed in the making of this special, because literally Mantis went around to each cop and was like, and sleep, and you're gonna sleep. And I thought that was the most hilarious thing. And of course, Drax, being him, he has to flip over one of the police cars. And I thought this scene was so funny where Mantis goes up and she's like, look, we're sorry, we didn't mean it. And she slides her little candy cane in and she's like, well, does this look like a person to you guys? Because she's kind of referred to her and Drax again having their brother sister combos. There she is. I just think everything about her is just so cute. Like as you watch her go throughout the special. But she wants to keep it very, like, I love how they're very much like, we're not gonna hurt anybody. Their powers are insane where they can do harm like this, right? But I love how they give them this kind of barrier, right, of making sure they're safe, they don't kill anybody. I think that's important. A kind of important note that I think Marvel does very well, where you could get your point across, but they're not going to kill a whole bunch of people going through this city or whatever just to get Kevin Bacon. So I thought that was an interesting point here. So here's the thing that we come up on here now. So obviously, if these two guys come out of woodwork, say, I need you to come with me, you're not going anywhere with Drax and Mantis. Let's just be real, because they off to the side arguing anyway. So they got to figure out a way to get Kevin Bacon back on this spacecraft. And so, Jamie, I want to ask you, did they do too much with the mind control when Mantis was like, look, I'm going to take this part away from you. I'm going to change your personality up a little bit. I'm going to make you kind of go with this and get in the spacecraft with us. Let's go. Or did you think it was like on the money? They had to do it.
I mean, they had to. Otherwise, Kevin wouldn't have agreed to have gone with them. So yeah, she had to do what she had to do to get him to, play along with their ruse to get him over to Peter Quill. So yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great the way they did it, even going all the way back to when they got the map from the lady from the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which that's a great way to figure out, okay, how are we going to find Kevin Bacon? Well, you really want to find Kevin Bacon? I got this map, Hollywood of the Stars. So that was just very nifty writing there. So yeah, I think it was funny. It's funny how when she did, sort of glamour him, I guess, he's just like, where are we going, guys? Where's the next adventure? And then it was kind of funny and also weird when he was starting to speak in like different accents and trying to play. I guess he was doing like different characters, and I didn't quite understand what that was supposed to mean or represent. But anyway. Yeah.
When they finally get him on the spacecraft here, which by the way loaded up with way too much Christmas stuff, like you got Drax and his Christmas sweater and everything. Yeah. They start going into, why they think Peter likes him, his roles. They don't realize he's an actor too, which I think is hilarious. They don't realize he's an actor.
And they despise actors, which I love this shtick in this movie the whole time is like everybody hates actors. Yeah. Which is ironic. But yeah, they hate actors. And like, how dare you deceive us? And
and that's what leads to, by the way, his doing his different accents and different voices, because they do his, she does a little glamour on him again, or the mind control, and she's like, I need you to be a superhero, I need you to be an action hero, we can't take you back as an actor, nobody wants this, who cares about this? So she's like, I need you to be a superhero. And he starts doing all these different voices, trying to figure out how he's going to do this or how he's going to approach this. And they're like, what are you doing right now? Like, just keep your regular voice and everything. So the whole scene is just hilarious. Which, by the way, before we jump out of the scene, though, I do want to ask people, let us know in the comments. Jamie, the question for you is, do you have a favorite Kevin Bacon movie? Because they all list the movies while they're in the Bowie of all the projects he's done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Gosh, that is a hard question. I mean, everybody always goes to like Footloose and and those movies, but okay, this might be an obscure one for some people, but it might be a popular one for others. My favorite Kevin Bacon, well, it's not like there's so many, so I will just say in my top group, She's Having a Baby. It was this movie with him and Elizabeth McGovern, and they're trying to have a baby, and they just go through all these crazy shenanigans as this young couple, sort of figuring out parenthood, and like Alec Baldwin is in it, and it's a really good movie. It's very hilarious, and he does that thing where he breaks the third wall and he talks to the camera, and I kind of miss movies like that. That was sort of like the Ferris Bueller age of movies where the actors or the characters would talk to the audience. Anyway, so I'm trying to think of other movies, but now I'm having a senior moment. But yeah, She's Having a Baby is one of my favorites. What is yours?
Yeah. Well, I'm doing the typical of like Footloose, but I know he's like, I'm drawing a blank right now because I know there's been a couple like action movies like thrillers he's been in that I know have had me like on the edge of my seat, because I think he does that real well. That genre of film as well. But yeah.
So Chris from Lured's Eye View says Stir of Echoes. That was good.
Ooh, okay.
Whenever I remember someone brings up Stir of Echoes, I think of the song that was played in the movie. Oh gosh, again, I can't remember what is going on with my head, but anyway,
so many things.
There's a scene with a girl who gets murdered in the movie, and they play this song during her murder, and I think of that song every time someone brings up Stir of Echoes. So Chris knows what I'm talking about as someone who's seen the movie.
Yeah, I'm over here Googling. I'm Googling some of these films. I'm like, I gotta add some of this to my list, because he's been in so, like, if you just Google, like, he's been in so many films. It's insane. But that's what makes Kevin Bacon. I mean, he's floating around to like so many different genres. So it's only obvious that now he makes his MCU debut.
Yeah. Did you say what your favorite Kevin Bacon movie was? Painted Black. Thank you. I'm like Painted Black. Appreciate.
Oh, yeah. Painted Black. Yeah. Because I can't figure out, like, I'm trying to see right now with some of my, because I know he's been in like a couple thrillers that
You
I've
gotta
never
Google to
seen.
figure it out.
Yeah, I gotta
You
Google to
can't
figure it out.
really.
I gotta Google to figure it out. Because Footloose, I remember the scene where he did the whole like gymnastics thing while he was mad about the song. That's the scene that
Okay.
always comes to my head when I think about him. I don't know why, but it's just
Okay.
stuck in my head of him, like, you know, he gets pissed off when he gets he gets called out for having his music too loud or dancing. I also think he's angry about something else in that scene. It's been a minute for me. But
Okay.
he
Okay.
just kind of goes to like this garage and he's like flipping around, doing all this kind of gymnastic things, kind of letting his aggression get out. And that's, for some reason, every time I see Kevin Bacon, that scene pops into my head. So
I also,
I'm gonna
by the
go
way,
I'm gonna go
liked him
Footloose.
as the I don't know if you guys remember the movie Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah.
Oh yeah,
But I liked
forgot
him as
about
the
that.
gay
Yeah.
stylist in that because it was just such a random role for Kevin Bacon. I'm
Yeah,
like, what
yeah,
is
I forgot
Kevin
about that.
Bacon
Yeah,
doing in
yeah.
this?
So to keep me from Googling, I'm gonna go with Footloose. We're gonna go with Beauty Shop, Stir of
Okay.
Echoes, Painted Black. So there you go.
She's having a baby. Yeah.
She's having a baby. I
There's
gotta
so much
Google it.
more
I
I
have
could
not
name,
seen
but
that one. Oh yeah,
that
he got a
would be the
ton.
whole
He's got a
show.
ton. So yeah, shout out to Kevin Bacon for, you know, keeping it all these years, keeping it relevant in different genres. He's doing his thing. So yeah, so this was cool to kind of see him in there. So all right, so we finally get them back to nowhere. This is time for the big reveal, right? They got Kevin Bacon back. You know, they've decorated, they got the lights going, they even pulled Nebula back into this whole mix. Like we got the whole gang putting out lights and everything, bringing out the snow for Peter so he can now feel like he is in this whole Christmas wonderland. And I saw Blur's Eye View talking about the hilarious role for him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Like
talking
this was,
about the beauty shop, probably the beauty shop.
oh, Beauty Shop. Yeah. Beauty Shop as well too. But yeah, it's cool to see anytime Kevin Bacon. I think Kevin Bacon is so cool where he like steps out of, he can step into these kind of comedy genres and stuff like that, and it's not too cheesy. Like he's able to really you know, kind of blend in, you know, the seriousness with the funny.
Oh yeah,
So
that's so I know we're getting stuck on Kevin Bacon, but that's what
oh
makes
no,
him
it's
so
cool.
compelling.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's how he's been able to manage his sustainability as an actor
Yep.
and as a notable actor in this business is he can do pretty much any genre. He can
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
comedy, he can do horror, he can do
Right.
drama, and he can do action. So and I think he's pretty much almost done every genre now that I think
Yep.
about it. So yeah, he's got so much range as an actor that you can pretty much put him in anything,
Mm-hmm.
including him playing now himself.
Yeah, I thought it was so he's still under mind control, by the way, playing himself in nowhere now. So they brought him to this, you know, whole other galaxy altogether, and this is crazy to have him in there. So Jamie, I'm gonna go to you, ask you about your favorite moment through this whole shebang of revealing Christmas to Peter. I will say though, I thought it was hilarious to bring him out in this box, that they did not cut any holes in or anything in, and they had Kevin Bacon in this box as a reveal. I thought that was the moment they just shut everything all the way down. It was super hilarious. And look at Peter. This picture Jay just put up, like he's very, see, this is his mood throughout the whole thing.
He's like, no, y'all didn't do this. Yeah, it was funny when he was mad that Mantis, you know, put him under her spell. He's like, did you do it? Take him out of that now.
Yep.
So that was funny for me because he knew that the only reason Kevin Bacon was even there in the first place is because he was under mind control. So
Mm-hmm.
Peter wanted to get rid of that immediately, and
Yeah.
that was funny. And then the minute he snapped out of it, poor Kevin Bacon, and the minute with Rocket,
Yep.
he was looking over at Rocket, and Rocket's like, you guys, you know, don't hurt him. I forgot exactly what the line was, but Rocket was just like, don't hurt him. And then Kevin Bacon was like, ah! And then Rocket was like, you freaking like, so he was about to go after Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
So that was a funny moment too. I know I botched up that part real quick, but anyway.
That's all right. Go back and watch it. Check it out.
Go back and watch it. But Rocket
out,
had a very hypocritical moment where he was telling people to, you know, protect Kevin. Kevin imposed, I guess he offended Rocket, right? And then Rocket wanted to go after him. So that was hilarious. But yeah, that great scene. Great scene. And, you know, again, a real moment of Kevin Bacon just like freaking out, wondering, okay, what's going on? There's a talking raccoon. There's this big old tree. and and Groot with the
Yeah, I was gonna bring up Groot.
can we
Yep,
bring
I was
up
gonna bring
Groot
up
really
Groot.
quick, because Groot done grown up.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe early 20s, because he was a teen before, being he was like real pissed off at Pete, or basically all of them all the time, and he would just go around playing games. You know, your typical teenage things where he don't want to hear anything from anybody. He just go around playing games. But yeah, he's bulked up. You know, he's back. He's getting older. He also
He
goes,
done
"I
grown
am
up.
Groot," like he didn't have anything to do with anything, which I thought was so funny.
Mm-hmm. I
So
love it.
yeah, it was shout out to Groot. Groot is, he's getting built. He's back in the game. By
One of
the way,
my
can
one of my
anybody
friends
tell
was
me?
like, "Is
Yeah.
Vin Diesel actually in that suit?" I was like, "Probably not."
Yeah, probably not.
But
Probably
but
not. Yeah.
he's got the Vin Diesel build going
Oh
for him,
yeah.
though.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was built. He was ready. Groot was ready. But I also want to know, like, I haven't searched this out yet. So let me know in the comments if you guys know how much you guys think Vin Diesel gets paid to just say 3 words over and over again, like just say them in different ways. It's just hilarious to be like, I need that job. That is just hilarious and great to me at the same time.
Gunn is calling him Swole Groot. I love it. I love it. He
Swole
is
Groot.
swole. He is swole.
Yeah, I love that whole scene was just so like comedy gold for like how many of the characters they were bouncing around to. You know, you get another Nebula talking junk about actors. You
I
know,
know
they just it was
that
just
was
so
so much
funny.
shit.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
like,
it
"I
was just
hate
so funny,
actors."
that whole scene.
That was her delivery of that line
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just loved it. Like this whole moment had, like I said, so many different looks and feels to it. But of course, they had to snap him out because it's not right. They taking him from LA, they taking him to a whole other galaxy. They got him in nowhere. So Peter, he's the guy. He's the good guy. He's the leader. He's like Jamie said. He's like, you can't keep Kevin Bacon like this. You got to snap him out of this. So Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon runs off. He goes crazy, as you would, because you're surrounded by all these different creatures and everything. You don't know what's going on. And this is where we kind of bring in Kraglin, played by Sean Gunn, who's kind of like the voice of reason to kind of get Kevin to calm down a little bit. He's like, okay, I'm going to take you back. And they get into the Bowie, and we have this really touching moment where Kraglin is kind of breaking down, why they thought Peter would be excited to see Kevin Bacon. And, they didn't mean any harm. And he's just kind of explaining, what Kevin Bacon represents and why it's important for Peter. And then we get another call from the wife, the also talented Kira Sedgwick, to kind of figure out where Kevin is. And Kevin has this change of heart after his conversation with Kraglin. And I thought that whole moment was so sweet because Kraglin, usually he's kind of that guy just off doing some random stuff to himself. And I thought it was so cool, his role in the special of kind of delivering this story about, what he thinks Peter's outtake is on Christmas. And, being the one to kind of step up and say, look, I know this is weird. This, I know how, my family is. I know this is kind of crazy. We took you and brought you here, but let me explain. So I thought that was a whole cool, like, kind of role reverse that we don't get to see Kraglin in all the time. So I thought that was a very cool, touching moment. But yeah, Jamie, your thoughts on this scene with Kevin Bacon and Kraglin, and him ultimately deciding that he wants to stay in nowhere to help, to be there for Peter. Oh, Jamie, you're muted.
Sorry, y'all. I have to mute my mic every once in a while because of the noise. So yeah, I absolutely love this scene. This was a great moment, and I'm just here for Kevin Bacon. That's all. That's really all I have to add.
Look at that smile. He looked like, I think he was having so much fun on this set. Look at his smile. That is just so great.
Yeah, he was just absolutely a blast. So anyway, I don't have much to add. I'm here for Kevin Bacon, and it was just great seeing him having a good time in this. And I'm curious to know. I wish there was a DVD commentary, or like now that we're in the streaming age. And I actually literally just had this conversation with someone this past week, that we've lost the DVD commentary that we used to get when we watched our movies. And I kind of wish they would bring that back with these streaming shows.
I do too.
So I would love to know some of the behind the scenes banter that happened with James Gunn and Kevin Bacon and crafting the role. And did Kevin add, some of the dialogue? Because I would imagine he was very involved in the creative process of, carving out some of this dialogue for his character, because he's playing himself. So Yeah, I just would love to know what the back story is behind the scenes of this film. So I miss that. I miss those commentary. Sometimes I would enjoy the commentary more than the movie itself back in the day. So yeah, bacon banter. There you go. Yes, I'm here for the bacon banter.
I love it. I love
Yes.
it.
I still need that story on how Nebula got Bucky's arm. Yeah,
that was
because
that was a cool
Rocket,
part too.
I actually have an image of that because Rocket, that's something he always wanted. He wanted that. So yeah, that's an Easter egg.
Yeah, it is. There you go. Marvel putting it in for us there. But yeah, I like how that was like they're masters at the quickest scenes ever in life, and you just like try to come to as many conclusions as you can very quickly to figure out what this is gonna mean. But yeah, I love that scene as well. You know, we're seeing some cool new vibes here from Rocket. So this is interesting to see how this character turns out.
I wonder if Kira will be mad if Kevin doesn't bring her with him at Easter. Oh yeah, that's right. Because Kevin said, "I'll be back at Easter."
Yep.
I was like, why Easter? Is that? I guess that's officially the next holiday after Christmas. But wouldn't it be like Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, what would they do for Valentine's Day? Yeah, that would be cool. There
like,
you go. Next special Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and then Kara could come for that. Like, okay,
yep, there you go.
Do the the Guardians holiday, but that makes me wonder. Since he brought up Easter, is James Gunn doing a Easter special? Maybe I don't know. We'll find out.
But yeah, okay. So the last thing to kind of wrap this up, definitely go and check the special out because we're running through some of our favorite moments and everything, favorite scenes. But go check it out in detail. You will enjoy it. You watch it at least 5 times if you haven't already seen it. It's so much fun to check this out. So last thing I want to mention, music composer. I want to talk about a little bit about the music here. The music was composed by John Murphy, and James Gunn's favorite band is the Old 97s, which I like. Hopefully, people do not light me up in these comments, but I had never heard of this band. I did not know who these guys were. So, and he dressed them up because they were wearing like the Nowhere garb. They're like alien prosthetics and stuff. So you probably didn't pay that much attention to it. Maybe when they did their first song, starting the special out. But they were talking about What is Christmas, and that song is hilarious. Go back and listen to that because it's so funny because it's trying to talk about Christmas, has nothing to do with Christmas. They have no idea what Christmas is. So that song is hilarious. And later on, the band is joined by Kevin. You guys, Kevin Bacon is singing in the special. And, he said
Kevin Bacon in real life is a performing artist. He is a singer. He has a band called the Bacon Brothers. I actually saw them years ago. This was years ago in New York at the Apple Store. This was when I was a volunteer. I used to volunteer with the Tribeca Film Festival, and they did like a special pop-up performance at the Apple Store in New York. And I saw Kevin Bacon perform with the Bacon Brothers because it's just him and his brothers in the band. So he is a singer in real life. He's not lip syncing that. That's his voice. So.
Well, I was gonna say he did. If he was doing an amazing job. So now that we know he's a professional singer, he was killing it on all grounds. He acts, he sings. What does Kevin Bacon not do?
What does he not do?
So,
he's great.
I just love Kevin Bacon. And the song is called Here It Is, Christmas Time. Go check it out. The album is out. Check it. They got these 2 new songs right for the Christmas holiday. James Gunn talks about it a lot if you catch him in interviews. So, go check out the music, check out the special on Disney Plus. So yeah, I mean that's cool. It was a cool.
Yeah, Gunn picks great music.
Yeah, he does. He does. It has that the rock Christmas vibe to it. So that's gonna be super cool for people to kind of bump while they're wrapping presents, decorating the tree, play your new Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas album. So I want to jump here before we kind of wrap everything up. At the time of this recording, they just dropped a new trailer for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Before we get to that, I just wanted to ask a question, and this is also to the folks that are watching in the comments too. What was your favorite scene from the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special?
Ooh,
I'll tell you what my favorite scene was.
Ooh, what was it?
My favorite scene was actually there's several, but there really is. But my favorite scene was between Drax and Mantis when it came to the doll that he had, and he left it behind.
Nice. Yep.
They were going back and forth as they
it.
were trying to chase Kevin Bacon after they were leaving his house. And she was like, you shouldn't have left it. But he was like, but I want to go back and get it, Meanwhile, Kevin Bacon is getting away and they're fighting over, Drax wanting to get that doll back. So, and then as it turns out, in the end, he gets it as a gift from Mantis, which I thought that was very heartwarming and sweet. Yeah. So that was my favorite scene. Okay, Tara isn't here, says Drax and Mantis. Oh yeah, I forgot to bring up this photo. Yeah, Drax and Mantis drunk in the club. That was absolutely hilarious. I loved seeing them get wasted. It's like I want to hang out with these guys. I want to hang out.
Definitely.
I want to have a party with them. Like I absolutely love seeing them get wasted. Can we just campaign James Gunn to have more alcohol and Guardians like mixed together? I know it probably won't happen because Marvel wants to keep things probably as PG as possible, but
we can dream though. We can dream that
I feel like we need to see more of these kinds of moments because it was hilarious.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite moments. But yeah, I'm just going all out and saying any moment that you have Mantis and Drax. Like I love they open up the show, they're arguing about, like I said, they're arguing about snacks. They're in the whenever they're in the Bowie together, it's just hilarious. So yeah, these two are comedy gold, and please put them in more scenes together as we go into the next volume. Any kind of special, we just want to see it.
TBS says Quill watching the lights come on, anything with Cosmo in it.
Oh yeah, Cosmo. Yeah, Cosmo was cute too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Blur's Eye View. Really, for me, it was the whole gift giving scene and the bar scene. Yeah. A lot of people like the bar scene. That was great.
The bar scene was fantastic.
Yeah, and the gift giving scene was nice. That was a nice touch.
Except for, maybe next time have it where Kevin Bacon can breathe, because I was a little nervous. I was like, make sure he can breathe in the next reveal.
Yeah, he was like, get me out of here, guys. I can't breathe. Yeah.
But when he comes back for Valentine's Day or Easter, just do the reveal a little different. But other than that, I did like the scene.
Yeah, do people give gifts during Easter? Is that like a thing? I just know the Easter egg hunts. That's all I know of that.
Yeah, and my mom used to give us like the little Easter baskets and stuff, but I guess you got a good point. Yeah, so if he does an Easter egg hunt, that'll be dangerous. An Easter egg hunt with Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh God. With those guys, that'll be dangerous.
Especially with Drax. Drax would just, I don't know, he'd probably eat the eggs or something. Like he wouldn't.
Yeah. Or like really shove you like dramatically hard out of the way when he finds the eggs, so you wouldn't even.
Or maybe he would just like he would throw the eggs and just find it fascinating that there's like yolk coming down and be like, whoa, that's cool. And just keep throwing and doing that. Yeah. I could see Drax doing that actually. Yeah.
But speaking of him throwing things, so getting into the trailer now, May 5th, 2023 is our release date. So, and I think given with this first trailer, it gives you a little bit of something, gives you Easter eggs, but it doesn't give you too much because, they still got some time to kind of work on things to kind of divvy it out here. But
it's a teaser.
A little teaser. So Drax opens up throwing a ball that knocks this little girl completely out. Speaking of him throwing things. So that's how they start the trailer out. And you have, Mantis talking about don't forget where we came from. So, there's a lot of powerful statements, but at the same time, keeping it very funny and light for, the Guardians of the Galaxy cast. We see Gamora is back, shout out. Zoe Saldana back up in the building. So we see Gamora in there. She she's got that like where she looks like she's gonna be between confused and her same, badass self. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to see what this does to her memory. Does she get all of her memories back? How does she mesh back in with the Guardians of the Galaxy? How they're gonna work her back into there. But I just love seeing her on the screen. I was excited to see her in this trailer right off the bat to kind of see that she's gonna be back as part of the game. And you see Rocket talk about he spent his whole life running. He's done running. What does that mean? What is he going to do with Bucky's arm? Do we get to see that come back in volume 3? And then we also go ahead, Jamie.
Well, I don't know how true it is, but someone has a theory that they think Rocket is going to die in this movie. I don't know.
Oh,
I hope that's not. I hope that's not true because this is the last Guardians movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So
Don't lose Rocket.
And I forgot what the details were around their theory. But anyways, they suspect that will happen. I don't think it will. I think people will be really angry at
Yeah,
James Gunn
I
for
think they will
that.
too. Yeah, don't do it.
Even if it's the last film, but
Yep.
yeah. So
Oh, hopefully we don't get. Hopefully Rocket stays in there. We'll miss Rocket. Like people be tearing some things up. I can see that though because they love him some Rocket. He's been in all the
yeah,
different,
he's one
you
of the most
know,
popular characters in the
right.
group.
Yeah, any kind of Avengers, he's in the game. So, and then the last thing that I thought was cool was seeing there's a goat man, Adam Warlock
Good
is
to
on the
know.
scene there. So that's interesting.
TBS, real quick. I'm so sorry. There's a Marvel podcast story set 20 years or so in the future, and Rocket is still there. Okay,
Okay.
so theory
Cool, cool,
squashed.
cool. Cool.
Good.
Yeah, I'm glad. Squash that theory. We don't want it. We do not want it. Keep Rocket going. But yeah, so that was like the last little Easter egg was like the gold men of Adam Warlock. So we will see, what comes of that. Also, you have Rocket coming back again, where he's hugging. Was it an otter? He's hugging somebody. He's hugging somebody towards the end of the trailer. So a lot of focus on Rocket here. Like I said, we're glad Gamora's back. Adam Warlock. So they're giving you, like Jamie said, it's a big old teaser for everybody to kind of go back through and watch several times and kind of pick through it and see what the theories are, see what people have coming up. Because this is our last Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm so sad to hear this, but everybody's doing their own thing. James Gunn is moving forward with some stuff. So, it has to come to an end at
James
some
Gunn
point,
is trying to be the new, well, I shouldn't say he's trying to be, but I mean, he probably eventually will be like the new Kevin Feige of DC, which will be a good thing for DC. And I really hope that they make it a more seamless and keep that connective tissue going with their films the way, I shouldn't say keep because DC's not doing that, but I hope that they sort of replicate what Marvel is doing in that capacity. So we'll see how it all pans out. But I trust James Gunn more than I would trust anyone else as far as that goes, as being like the producer guy of the studio. Yeah. Anyway.
So, yep.
Excellent. No spoilers. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say on the trailer.
I don't know. This is just me watching it, giving you guys the little moments I saw. So you guys go back in the comments and tell us if you find some stuff out, because like I said, at the time of recording this, it just dropped. So let us know what you find out.
TBS says, by the way, I think Kevin trying to do Batman is a nod from Gunn about going to DC. Wait, what's going on? That's something that's news to me. Kevin Feige's doing Batman?
When he was in the Bowie, when you were talking about him doing the different impressions, I think he did a Batman impression.
Who?
Kevin Bacon.
Oh, when you said Kevin, I thought you meant Kevin Feige. I was like, really?
Oh.
Kevin Feige's doing a Batman movie?
Feige.
What? Why did I not know about this? Okay, yeah. Doing a Batman nod from yeah. That's right. I forgot about that moment.
Yeah, so hopefully, I don't know, somebody's onto something there. Okay, a little DC intermixing there. Okay, a little DC Marvel intermixing. All right, I see it.
No, you're all good. I was stuck on something else, and you were following Ryan's flow, so it's all good. But yeah, I have actually not. I've only watched the trailer once, and usually when I watch trailers, I try to watch it multiple times to see if I can pick up on different things. So I've only watched the Guardians trailer once, and I just liked really seeing Adam Warlock for the first time. I thought that was cool. I want to read up more about his character because I don't know much about Warlock. From the comics. I mean, we did kind of a mini dive on Black Girl Nerds. Danielle wrote an article about him, but I want to actually do my own reading of him before watching this final film. But yeah, it was good. It was good seeing Zoe as well. I mean, I remember at Comic-Con, they did show us some of the little highlights and stuff, and I saw Zoe and stuff. So yeah, it's great seeing her. I'm curious to know in what capacity are they going to explore Gamora's storyline in this final film. So it should be interesting. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm waiting for that pre-sale to happen. We got the 2023 in May, so hopefully nothing delays it. We're gonna see this movie come out, at that time, because it's Marvel. So if they do delay, they're working on something else cool with it. But you always hate it because you're like, no, I was ready for the time date. Don't push it back on me. So I'm getting excited. So I can't wait to see how Volume 3 wraps it up for the game.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, Ryan. Are you good? Is there anything else you want to?
Yeah, you guys let us know in the comments. We talked about a whole bunch of Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. Let us know what you guys like, what drop us maybe some, like cool comic issues that you guys are reading on the different characters that you guys want us to check out. And you kind of get our read on about these new characters. If you have any, give Jamie some suggestions about Adam Warlock. That'll be dope. Kind of drop in the comments and everything. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to have a little cool.
I like the actor who plays him, by the way, too. He was really good in that Hulu series Dopesick, I think it was called. Okay. And I think we interviewed him on Black Girl Nerds. Yeah, Giandra talked to him. So I can't remember the actor's name. Please forgive me. Feel free in the comments to let me know. But yeah, I think he's a great actor, and I'm looking forward to seeing him make his Marvel debut.
There you
go.
I
think this is his first Marvel film. So Blur's Eye View says, I'm holding back all the theories. You see what people thinking about Mephisto. Exactly. I know people was gassing up Mephisto like crazy with WandaVision. And then look, he ain't even. And I think they were gassing up him for showing up in Multiverse of Madness. So, y'all, Mephisto will show up eventually, y'all. He will. Just give it time. Will Poulter, thank you.
Yeah,
Will Poulter, yes.
Will Poulter.
Yeah, Mephisto, he'll show up in due time. Just And I also people was thinking Magneto was going to show up.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is what Marvel does to us, right? All the theories, all the fan theories you could think of, because we just want to know. That we know they'll never tell us, so we're just gonna keep guessing of all the Easter eggs and theories.
Will Poulter is work. He's working, yes.
Oh yeah. I feel like he's gonna do great in this role. And I'm with Jamie. I want to do more research. I want to know more about it.
Watch Dopesick, by the way. If you haven't watched Dopesick, it's on Hulu. He's great. He plays like this guy that represents the pharmaceutical companies, and he has to go to these small towns to.
Okay.
I mean, he's his character is basically responsible for these small community residents getting doped up on opiates. So yeah, Kevin Feige is Mephisto.
Hey, that would be a twist for you, though. That would be a twist. There you go.
I mean, do you think the way Phase 4 has been handled, is that very Mephisto-like? What are y'all thoughts? Boy. Since y'all are popping off in the comments, I want to know, what are y'all thoughts on, because we're now at the end of the year, right? Phase 5 happens.
Yep.
Phase 5 we're going into. So what are your thoughts overall of Phase 4? Are you happy with Phase 4? Was it mediocre? Did you think it was trash? I am very curious about your thoughts regarding Phase 4. What are your thoughts on a Black Magneto and Esposito's comments on it? Ooh, good question. I mean, I'm here for it. I know fans will be upset. I get it.
They will. Yeah,
I get it. I grew up on X-Men. Like, that was the first X-Men comics was my gateway into comics. So I totally get it. But at the same time, I'm here for it. Giancarlo Esposito.
Never go shut like that down. I love to change up, but everybody's gonna have something to say though.
Giancarlo Esposito plays some of the best villains ever. I mean, he is absolutely fantastic of an actor. I mean, just going all the way back to his career, not just like the recent stuff with the, Better Call Saul and The Boys and all of that. So I think that I would like to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. Tara isn't here, says it was hell.
What?
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna. Here's well, I'll wait for some more comments before I give mine. Feige is actually Mephisto. Okay. Oh yeah, we already did that one. Oh no. Okay. That wasn't someone that did that. There's two people that made that comment. Tibby says, "What are your thoughts on She-Hulk being canceled by Marvel? All the rumors is she was going to be in Avengers for not. Yeah, didn't we? Did we kind of recap She-Hulk? Or we were going to recap and we didn't end up doing it?
Yeah, we were going to, and we just like the bandwidth was like the bandwidth was not there. Yeah,
I'm not.
That's a tricky one. Yeah, because people were kind of in their feelings about when she broke the fourth wall in the series finale. Well, I guess series finale now. What's season finale? So
I mean, I think it being canceled is unfortunate. They should have at least given it another chance. There's other shows that have been mediocre. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, She-Hulk, I had better expectations for it, and I thought it could have been a better show. I said better twice. I'm fumbling through my thoughts here. I think it had more potential than it ended up having. However, I think it was too early and too premature to just go ahead and cancel it. So it is unfortunate, but it just didn't resonate with fans. And if there's not enough people watching it, if there's not enough people getting behind it, then that's what happens. Shows get canceled. So I don't know. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I actually love She-Hulk. I didn't think when it first started, I didn't think the episodes were long enough because I wanted some more, more Jennifer Walters kind of thing going on. But I like her breaking the fourth wall. I thought that was cool because you never get that in Marvel. You never get somebody crashing down the wall like, well, why do we have to have this storyline and why do we have to do that? Let's change it up and do this. And then the reveal. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, I think. I think the breaking, because Tibby also mentioned She-Hulk always broke the fourth wall in comics. That's part of the charm. I don't think the fourth wall was because did you say the fourth wall is something that kind of was jarring for the fans? Was that something that wasn't? Because I don't think that's what took people out of it. I think what disappointed a lot of people was the hype around Daredevil. Like people really thought that Daredevil was going to be a part of the series, and he. Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as like throughout this show, and he kind of was like, he was very one note and sort of an afterthought. So had they not hyped him up so big, maybe the expectations would have been different. And I think that's kind of what fell flat. But me personally, I know I'm sounding kind of negative around She-Hulk. I actually enjoyed the series. I thought it was good. I think, again, going back to what I said earlier, I think the expectations were really high for it, and it just kind of missed expectations with fans. Blurred's Eye View says phase 4 was completely fine. The phase of grief, growth, moving, and introduction. Okay, I like that assessment. I think I didn't
really have an issue with phase 4, but see, I don't say it as much because you guys know, I mean, unless somebody sit me down and force me to watch Inhumans, I'm pretty much okay with how Marvel is going to do their flow of watching, because I feel like they have a method to the madness. I know it's a little crazy sometimes, and they're trying to change it up a little bit. They want to give you a different feel, but I didn't think that it wasn't that hard for me to follow.
Esposito, yeah, amazing actor. Also, always does an awesome villain. Yep,
yeah, he is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Phase 4 was okay, but Iron Man, T'Challa, Cap, Hulk smash was missed. Are we about to get controversial? You didn't like Wakanda Forever? Curious to know your thoughts on Wakanda Forever. I'll say this real quick before I go to more comments about phase 4. I agree with, I think the comment was from Enterdine Eva. Phase 4 was a bit of a miss. I think it was a hit on some films and it was a miss on others. I loved Wakanda Forever. I did not have the expectations that some fans have, that it was going to be your typical Marvel movie. That is not the kind of film that Ryan Coogler had set out to make. It was more of a love letter to Chadwick Boseman. So if you came in with those expectations like I did, then you were going to like and appreciate the movie. If you were expecting some, sort of in the same vein of what Black Panther gave us, with the action and kind of really focusing on, the different kind of villains and sort of the antagonistic storylines and all of that, which Wakanda Forever did deliver. I I think you probably would set yourself up for a little bit of disappointment because it really was more of just focusing on the growth and then also the loss, the growth of these characters after the loss of T'Challa. So that's what I'll say about Wakanda Forever. As far as the other Phase 4 films, Eternals, trash. Sorry, the movie was trash.
Whoa. I like it. I like Angelina Jolie's character.
I mean, I'm gonna be frank with you, Ryan. I know you're gonna love and say everything of that Phase 4 was just amazing and awesome because you love Marvel. Is there a Marvel movie that you don't like?
It's not a Marvel movie I don't like, but it's Inhumans. But I did mention Inhumans. That's the one thing I had an issue with when they first started doing TV shows. Like when they would kind of start getting into their TV shows, and they did that. I was like, no, they need to redo
well,
this.
I think everybody hated Inhumans. I don't know anybody that actually liked that show. And if you did, I have questions.
The silver lining, so I'm gonna let Jamie do her thing. I'm gonna find the silver lining in all these Phase 4 movies. So I'm gonna let Jamie do her thing.
Multiverse of Madness, I felt like it fell flat in a lot of areas. That was another film where I was like, okay, I'm so ready for this. I'm so hyped. And then I walked away going, what did I just watch? So Phase 4 had its good moments. I'm trying to think of, Wakanda Forever. Again, I had different expectations, so I enjoyed it. What other movie did I really enjoy? Oh yeah, Shang-Chi. Yeah, I enjoyed Shang-Chi. Yeah, I enjoyed Shang-Chi. Black Widow.
Yeah, what about Black Widow?
So I liked it. Then I watched it again, and then I watched it again, and then I watched it again, and each time I watch it, I don't like it anymore. And that third act just gets worse and worse and worse. So, yeah. I love Ms. Marvel. I enjoyed Ms. Marvel.
Hey, Ms. Marvel. Yep.
I enjoyed
Doctor
that.
Strange?
I just talked about Multiverse of Madness.
You didn't? Okay.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder?
Ooh. Yeah. Love and Thunder just, again, like, it just didn't have the same panache, the same charisma that the last film had. So I'm a harsh critic. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna go to the comments, but I'm a bit of a harsh critic. But Phase 4 was, for the most part, felt a little mediocre for me. It didn't blow me away like the previous phases did. I will say that. Also Wong, I did miss, but T'Challa was definitely, yeah. So I'm taking it Tara Isn't Here is definitely a T'Challa stan and probably a part of the recast T'Challa camp, I would imagine, which nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't going to happen in Wakanda Forever. Just wasn't going to happen. Tibby S says Wakanda Forever was a lovely movie. Definitely a love letter. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tara Isn't Here. Sorry, I like Wakanda Forever, but T'Challa was missed. Okay, we got you. We missed T'Challa. And look, T'Challa looks like they're basically setting up a comeback for T'Challa in the next film.
Yeah.
We will get our T'Challa. Eternidine Eva. There's a leaked concept art for Theme Park Ride that has all Phase 4 characters fighting Thanos. I think She-Hulk will join the Avengers in Secret Wars. I hope so.
I hope. Yeah.
I want to see more She-Hulk. I absolutely think She-Hulk. I think they did a disservice to the way they framed that show. I think. Part of the Eternals was fine, way better than the Inhumans. Love the giant dog though. Always a dog in a movie.
Yeah, they did have the giant dog. It did have the giant dog in the Inhumans.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, No Way From Home.
Yeah, home.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. I mean, I think neck and neck for me, Wakanda Forever and Spider-Man No Way From Home are definitely the best. Absolutely. Love and Thunder was at least better than the one with the bad elves. What's the one with the bad elves? I don't know what that one was. Got to clarify for us on that one, Tibby. Why does everyone want Marvel to be different, and then Phase 4, when it is, they don't like it being different?
Now, see, that's what I'm with that.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say, because I feel like they're trying to evolve somewhere, right?
Okay.
So somebody's always gonna have something to say about it not matching up, to the past phases, but it's a different phase. Like, they have to change up, their storylines and do the characters different, right? So I mean, you know, and it's nothing wrong with people saying, "Hey, I couldn't follow Phase 4." You know, everybody's gonna have an opinion on it, but you know, yeah, I'm with that same feeling. I'm like you. Everybody said, let's do something different. Let's change it up. They have to bring in these new characters, so it's gonna feel different. I mean, these characters are different, so it's not gonna all mesh and flow. And you got to be ready for Marvel to change it up. I mean, they can't stay the
When you
same.
say different, though, what do you mean? I mean, are you talking about different in terms of these are brand new characters? Or are you talking about different in
Well, yeah,
terms
some of
of
them, some like when you think about
diversity?
Moon Knight, I think it's both. I mean, they're adding in diversity. That's gonna feel the character. That's gonna make the character feel different from the jump right there. You know, one of the
Okay.
big pulls from, you know, one of the big things from Wakanda Forever that we love is that diversity that automatically switches the game up from the other movies. That I think that's always going to give it that other feel, you know, for the culture and the way it makes you you know, feel in that world, but just different as in like Moon Knight. I didn't know a lot of these characters. I hadn't read the comics on some of these characters. And so, you know, coming in fresh, just like we came in fresh for like Guardians in the Galaxy, you know, like back in the day,
Right.
you have to kind of fill out, you know, these characters a little bit and see how Marvel is going to kind of, you know, develop them and explore it a little bit more. Sometimes they take some, you know, they may take some wrong turns, you know, with She-Hulk.
I don't
Everybody
think
was super
there's
hyped about Daredevil.
I don't think there's anything wrong with having different characters. Different characters, I welcome different characters.
Yeah.
You just have to have really good writing. You have to have a good story structure,
Yeah.
and you can't set up audience expectations to be one thing and then execute it completely differently. So that's the only issue that I have with some of the way the Four Phase films and TV shows sort of landed this past year. But I welcome the changes and hope that we get, as far as like new characters and different types of. I mean, we're gonna get that, right? We're gonna get Wonder Man. We're gonna get our Blade movie, which I don't think is coming out until. Is it coming out next year or 2024?
I
Which
don't know. That's
Blade isn't
there. I was
technically
glad they found a
new, but
director, so who knows? I don't know.
yeah, Blade isn't technically new. But anyways, I'm just saying I welcome that. I just want to make sure that, you know, the writing is good, the direction is thorough, and you know, we get these characters a story that they actually deserve that makes sense. So like
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home had a great story, even though it was a total fan service movie, which is probably why a lot of people liked it, but it still had a great substantive story. And
Yeah.
that's what makes compelling filmmaking.
Well,
So
I think my point is, and not just specifically you. I'm just kind of looking at just general comments of people talking about the phase just in general. I just think it's going to take them. I just feel like, and maybe just because I'm a fan and that's just period. I just think it's going to take some wiggle room for some of these characters to get in there, and you know, not necessarily, you know, saying that you don't want, like you said, the good plot, the good writing,
yeah.
but for some of these characters, the way they're done in the comics, it's going to be a little different when they hit the screen. I just
Oh, it
feel
has to be.
so.
It has to be.
So right. So I
Yeah.
just think some people are, you know, jumping right to, oh, I just can't deal with this right now. But you know, it's a different that, you know, it's a different feel than the,
I
you know,
mean, if
the
they
Avengers
made
aren't the same Avengers anymore.
yeah, I don't think fans are upset about that, because if they made Iron Man any similar to the way he is in the comics in the movies, people would hate Iron Man, because Tony Stark is a hole. And he's a really like bad human being. You know, he's a alcoholic drunk, and you know, he's kind of a bit of a misogynist. He's not a good dude. So they're definitely going to always take creative liberties, even as far as the personality of some of these characters, compared from the comics to the movies, to make it more digestible and, you know, make it a little bit more saccharine filled, because again, Disney, the big ears owns the brand of Marvel Studios. But I don't think fans for the most part have an issue with them changing the storyline in the comics from how it's adapted in on the big screen. Now, I will say, I think you are right. There is probably a faction of fans that are going to always be like the comic book purists that always have something to say. Like even with Wakanda Forever, people had issues with Namor's character not being similar. But it's a very small faction of those people. It's not like the general, you know, box office goers that feel that way.
Yeah, I
Um,
am with you. I mean, you
and
know, I'm
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead, Ryan. I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
oh no, you're fine. I'm just, I'm always gonna be down with whatever they got coming down the pike. But I'm not hating as long as they don't take, like I said, as long as you don't take me back to Inhumans, I'm good. So I was rolling with you through phase 4. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here
Okay, so we
standing
can
with
all
you.
agree that Inhumans was trash. Okay, good to know.
But I
uh,
mean, yeah, I get what you're saying though. I mean, the writing, the plots, it's a thin
yeah,
line for Marvel. I mean, that is what they're known to expect. So I mean, hey, if that's how you approach it, you probably got some issues with it. If you're not an all and out Marvel fan like I am, you probably got some things to say. But we're gonna see how they
yeah.
roll into this next phase and see how it turns out.
And Tibby says that he's talking about Thor: Dark World. Yeah, Thor: Dark World
Okay.
that was not a good movie.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when you first mentioned that a lot of people didn't throw that in, because that's usually the first one I hear people say they don't like is the Thor
Yeah,
Dark World. So I was
yeah.
actually surprised. I was
The
waiting
only
for it. I was waiting for it.
yeah, and yeah, Eccleston. I don't know what Eccleston was. That's the one. Yes. Oh yeah, 2024. You're talking about Blade. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
I'm
when
waiting
they're
for it.
because
I'm ready.
they.
Let's go.
Yeah, I hope everything's okay. I always get concerned when they change directors, because they changed directors with Multiverse of Madness. Uh, you know, oh gosh, who was supposed to direct it? Anyways, Sam Raimi was not the original director of Multiverse of Madness. So, I mean, you guys know what my feelings are about it, but sometimes when you shift directors, Scott Derrickson. I'm not losing my mind completely, guys. But Scott Derrickson was slated to direct it and was replaced by Sam Raimi. So, it always concerns me when they change directors. Timmy says, when watching comic book movies, one needs to expect it to be different. Absolutely. And that goes for, we recap Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. By the way, it's not going to be live streamed, but you can check us out on YouTube. We've been doing recaps of Kindred, which is based on Octavia E. Butler's novel of the same name. There's going to be differences whenever you're adapting a story from a book, especially like George R.R. Martin's work, as dense as that is, and adapting it onto TV. You're going to have to take some creative liberties somewhere, because if you go page by page, that show would be running forever. So yeah, there's always going to be changes from the book source to TV or film. That's just goes with the territory. Excited about Kindred. Yes, look out. Quick shameless plug. Watch our Kindred podcast. We obviously can't put that out right now. It's a podcast, so it will be available on audio, and we're also going to have it up on our YouTube channel once the show starts, which it'll stream on FX, or stream on Hulu rather, but FX, Hulu, those guys are married. I think it's on December the 13th, either the 12th or the 13th. It's 13th. So once those episodes drop, because they're dropping all the episodes at once, we'll release the recaps. And feel free to watch and like and leave your comments.
Yeah, it's a good time. Spoiler alert. I'll just go ahead and put that out there. Spoiler alert. So yeah, that's why we can't release it right now. But yeah, keep it, stay tuned.
RDJ's personality is what made Iron Man, and not the actual comics character Stan wrote in the early 1960s. His jerks. Spider-Man, Hulk, Professor Strange are that way in the comics. Yep. And then that's why Robert Downey Jr. Sort of kind of had this nice, I don't know if nice is the right word, but sort of had this rehabilitation of his even own career and his own reputation. Because like pre-Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. was sort of, kind of like back then, he was kind of canceled because he had the whole situation with the drug use and all of that. Anyways, Iron Man kind of made his career, and he made it into his own personality. But yeah, you're right. Like, Tony Stark is not that character from the movie. That's completely of Robert Downey Jr.'s making. And yeah, Spider-Man, Hulk, Professor. Yeah. Strange is also very much a jerk in the comics. Very much a jerk in the comics. So Benedict Cumberbatch has made him very likable, very digestible, because these guys are not they're not good people. And by me saying that, I just mean, they're just rough around the edges. I'll just say that. They're not like, murderers or, all kind of crazy stuff, but they're just rough around the edges. Yeah, the actor can make all the difference. Yeah, RDJ nailed it.
Absolutely.
RDJ
Absolutely.
He made that role into his own. He rehabilitated that role along with his image, and now he is the man that he is today. On the opposite side, there's no way watching the new Flash movie don't want to see that face. Yeah. Speaking of people that are kind of canceled, or I don't even know. How can I say this without even like canceling myself? There's just this weird thing where someone like Ezra Miller can do the things that they did, have a movie, because DC they're still going on with, they're still going to do the Flash. It's still green light that has the release date, all of it, full throttle with it. But yet there are other people who are not who have more melanin in their skin, let's just say that, and they just get completely canceled, and they can't make the kind of rehabilitation or even have the opportunity to have their films be released or whatever the situation. I'm not talking about anybody specific. I'm just saying that it just seems like he's being given more chances, or they, excuse me. I don't want to use the wrong pronouns for Ezra Miller, but I feel like they have been given more chances with their mishaps than people of color in entertainment have. So that's all I'll say about that. I don't want to get too long-winded on it. What's your opinion about the Ezra Miller Flash movie or situation thereof?
My only thing is Ezra Miller has to compete with Grant Gustin. So that's just a right there. I just think I just said a mouthful right there, or just food for thought. If you think about the Flash TV show going into this movie. So I'm just gonna cross my fingers that press conferences, things are kept short. Certain actors do not are not asked certain questions. Let's just get into this film, because Jamie said it's a roller coaster that you can't stop it. It's just, it is what it is. It's coming out. So just keep them press conferences short. Get certain people.
And Grant Gustin is available now because the Flash is in its final season.
I hope they do. I love him, absolutely love him as the Flash, and I think that is just tough shoes to have to follow up. And so I don't know, DC. I don't know how we pull this one out, but yeah, it's a roller coaster. It's not stopping. So just keep keep the questions, the Q&A short and simple. Get on out of there.
And I mean, the Ezra Miller controversy aside, I wasn't even that hyped up for a Flash film. I didn't even think the Flash needed.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't even think that character needed his own movie, because when I saw Ezra Miller's character in the Justice League movie, I was like, this is the most mediocre, bland, Barry Allen that I've ever seen. So is this what we're going to really be getting for 2 whole hours? Like, there's nothing compelling or charismatic or interesting about this character. And Grant Gustin did an incredible job and is really the only Barry Allen I acknowledge.
Yeah, me too.
Blank period.
Yeah.
Miller wasn't given any chances. WB just plain ignored everything. WB held out until the bad news died down. Yeah, I mean, I guess let's just say it's premature, because if Miller is allowed to do the press circuit, that's a chance. If Miller is allowed to get in front of this and take pictures and be a part of the glitz and glamour of promoting this film as if nothing happened, that is, in my opinion, giving this person a chance. So I'm just saying there's other actors that have been blacklisted in Hollywood, and I'm not talking about because he's white. I'm not talking about Armie Hammer, but there are Black actors that have been blacklisted that that don't get those kinds of comebacks or or their shortcomings are not ignored. Let's just say that. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, Ezra Miller's on that right roller coaster that you can't stop right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I care more about how this film is actually going to turn out as far as story wise. Is it going to be an interesting film to watch? And by the way, I don't know if you guys remember, but they actually were going to develop a cyborg film, and it was supposed to come out in 2020. I'll never forget that. This was about I don't know when they made the announcement. I think it was in 2017. I don't remember quite. Yeah, I don't quite remember the year, but they made that announcement. It was in development. They actually had it on the IMDb page, release date 2020, and then they shelved that. So it's like I would rather see a cyborg movie. I'd rather see Ray Fisher do his thing than see an Ezra Miller Flash movie, but that's just me. According to WB itself, CW never made profit ever. Gustin was just Bendis' version of Ultimate Spider-Man dressed as the Flash. Okay. I didn't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that's about. All right.
Cool. Well, you guys, this was a great show. I really enjoyed having this conversation. I always like geeking out over comics and comic book movies. And Ryan, thanks for bringing up the idea of doing this. This was absolutely fantastic. Real quick, I'll bring up this last comment from Tibby. What about the unfair or how unfair it is for the Batgirl movie that was canceled? There we go.
Yeah, I think I was kind of thinking
Ezra Miller gets to do a movie, but Batgirl gets canceled.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were hinting at, Jamie. Yeah, they ruffled some feathers over at DC Warner Brothers.
That was what I was hinting at. I guess I just should have said it. That's exactly it. It's like, okay, you got a woman of color lead in this film, female superhero, Batgirl. And I know that there's some black Batgirl haters probably that are out there, but still give this movie a chance, give it an opportunity. Yeah. Don't just completely shelve it. But yeah, y'all gonna keep the Flash going, and it's not like because it was same situation. I'm not saying the same situation, but same situation as both of these movies were completely done. Batgirl was done.
Yeah, it was done.
It wasn't like it was in pre-production or development. You know, it's not like they were even halfway. They made the movie. It was in the can. It was ready to go. And then they decided to shelve it. So why are they not doing that for? Yeah,
that was a tough pill to swallow. When this movie is done, whoo, that's some ruffled feathers right there. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. So thanks for bringing that up, Tibby, because I
didn't
want to go too long on my rant, but
I kind of thought that's what you were hitting at. So Tibby was like, let's just put it out there. Let's get
but Tibby's like, call a spade a spade. Batgirl, that's what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. It was done, man. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna have people in their feelings for a good minute. So they're gonna have to. I don't know if they do the rebound on that one, but people gonna be in their feelings for a good minute on that one.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, DC's got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do. And hopefully with James Gunn being at the helm of it, things will be much better in terms of quality as well. So we shall see. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really, really appreciate your comments. This was a very engaging episode.
This was a lot of fun. I really, you guys for engaging with us.
This was fun, and I'm gonna be watching this again. Like I said, I think I mentioned this before. While I'm like wrapping up Christmas gifts, I'm gonna be watching the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special with my eggnog and wrapping up presents, because that's just the kind of thing that you do while you're watching this. It's so much fun.
At least 3 or 4 more times. Go ahead.
Just watch it, through. and I feel like it's kind of safe to watch this with the kids. Like, I feel like it's
you just gotta, I just don't know how people feel, some, because it's Guardians of the Galaxy, so the language. But I was gonna say that I was just gonna start and say watch it with the kiddos, but I know some people might be like, well,
I mean, what part was there? What part was their language? Was there language?
Nebula did a little bit. I think they
had.
There was somebody in the beginning that had a couple. I can't remember what it was that it was. I don't know. I mean, it's to me, it's not bad. I mean, my parents would, if I was watching something like that, they'd just be like, okay, I better not catch you saying that. You watch it, but I better not catch you saying, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like you could still sit down. I still think it would be a family oriented thing. Like, just sit down with the crew, wrapping gifts or whatever you kind of doing, just chilling about the house, have it playing in the background. I think it's a good watch.
All right, I want to address this, and then we really do got to wrap up. I don't think it's a race thing with Batgirl. They said the movie was bad. We are getting a brown Supergirl, a brown Blue Beetle, and a brown Shazam family, and Momoa is brown and Black Adam. Facts. That is true. DC is diverse. I've never heard of a studio completely shelving a movie. The way they did with Batgirl, though. And if it is bad, can you leave it to us to make that decision? I mean,
that's how I feel. I still want to see. I still want to know if it's bad. Still show me, because you had this crew, this cast working their butts off. The movie was done, so just show me the movie regardless. I want to see it.
Because my guess is if it was bad, then that was measured by a focus group, which is a very small subset of people. Yep. So let the audience, because let's be honest, there's a lot of bad comic book movies that have been released. Yep. And we as fans have made our decision, and we go on podcasts and live streams like this and tell you if a movie is bad or, whatever. So let the fans decide if it's bad. I mean, it could be bad, but at least give the movie a chance and let it make its money back.
Yep.
Because like you said, there's a lot of people that worked on it, that spent months. Poor Leslie, oh gosh, what's her name? Something Leslie. I know.
Yes, escaping me too. I was trying to
Google her name. But the main actress, she was training for months to prep for this role. Like, at least allow her to see the fruits of her labor, on the big screen. So it's just, I get what you're saying. If it's a bad, movie, that's why they shelved it. But to me, I think that's a poor excuse. If that's the Leslie Grace.
Oh yeah, Grace. Yep.
I think that's a poor excuse, because if you're shelving a movie based off of a focus group, and we don't even know how many people that is. I mean, maybe it's a group of critics, or maybe it's a group of executives. Then that just, it tells me that they have very little faith in their products. And that's not good if you're a movie studio, that you have that little of faith.
And I hope she gets the most epic role that you cannot imagine somebody gets, because the way she showed class and was just like, okay, this is the work we did. Thank you to the cast and crew. Like, she didn't do anything, she didn't say anything bad. She kept it classy. She kept it pushing. So I hope she gets the role of a lifetime, honestly, because I felt so bad for her that the way that was handled.
Yeah. So I don't know if they got a tax break for shelving it. I feel like that was a rumor, but I don't know if that's facts or not. I don't know. Again, I just say leave it to the fans. Leave it to us to decide if a movie is bad or not. But anyway, it's shelved. It's done. Maybe James Gunn will have it rehashed later in the
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's a lot of things that he's kind of taking note of, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna sit with this for a little bit. Let me see where the cars may fail. We fall. How can I redo this? I'm hoping he's doing a lot of that as he's kind of taking over the helm.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. Well, again, thanks guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. And we'll try to do more of these in the future, because I see that it's obviously kind of resonating with you folks. And we appreciate the support. We appreciate the engagement.
Absolutely.
Of course, as always, we ask you to do the things. We ask you to subscribe.
Now, but subscribe.
Yeah. And, share and let folks know about, what we do here at Black Girl Nerds. And we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.